The arrogant invasion. Supreme Commander Vexthor stood on the bridge of the Zarthak flagship, his 6 eyes fixed on the blue-green orb slowly rotating on the main view screen. Earth, the homeworld of a species barely out of its gravity well, would soon be another jewel in the crown of the mighty Zarthak Empire. Status report, Vexthor demanded, his voice a low rumble that sent shivers through his subordinates. All ships are in position. Supreme Commander, replied his second-in-command, Zelnak. Our cloaking technology remains undetected. The humans have no idea we're here. Vexthor's mouth tentacles quivered in what passed for a smile among his species. Excellent. Prepare to decloak and begin the invasion. These primitive apes won't know what hit them. As the Zarthak armada shimmered into view above Earth's major cities, panic erupted across the planet. Humanity had long wondered if they were alone in the universe. Now they had their answer, and it wasn't the one they'd hoped for. In Washington, D.C., President Sarah Chen was rushed to a secure bunker beneath the White House. Her face was grim as she addressed her hastily assembled war council. Ladies and gentlemen, we are facing an unprecedented crisis, she began, her voice steady despite the fear gripping her heart. Alien ships have appeared over every major city on Earth. We must assume their intentions are hostile. General Marcus Stone, a grizzled veteran with more combat experience than the rest of the room combined, spoke up. Madam President, our conventional weapons are having no effect on their ships. Whatever shields they're using, they're light years beyond our technology. Chen's eyes narrowed. What about our nuclear arsenal? Stone shook his head. We've tried, ma'am. They intercepted and neutralized our ICBMs before they even left the atmosphere. We're effectively defenseless. A heavy silence fell over the room, broken only by the distant sound of explosions as the alien ships began their assault on the city above. No, Chen said firmly, her jaw set. We are not defenseless. We are humanity. We've faced extinction-level events before and survived. We'll do it again. She turned to her chief of staff. Get me on a secure line to every world leader. It's time to put aside our differences. The survival of our species depends on it. As Chen rallied Earth's leaders, Vexthor watched with growing satisfaction as his forces laid waste to human cities across the globe. Their pitiful defenses crumbled before the might of Zarthak technology, just as he knew they would. Supreme Commander, Zelnak interrupted his reverie. We're detecting a transmission from the humans. It appears to be a plea for mercy. Vexthor's mouth tentacles curled in amusement. Put it on screen. Let's hear what these primitives have to say. The view screen flickered to life, showing the determined face of President Chen. This is Sarah Chen, President of the United States and spokesperson for the people of Earth. We request an immediate cessation of hostilities and open dialogue with your leaders. Vexthor let out a booming laugh that echoed across the bridge. You dare to make demands of the Zarthak Empire. Your species is nothing but vermin to us. Surrender now, and perhaps we'll allow some of you to live as our slaves. Chen's eyes hardened. We will not surrender. Humanity has faced threats before, both from nature and our own kind. Each time, we've emerged stronger. You may have superior technology, but you underestimate the human spirit at your peril. With a dismissive wave of his tentacle, Vexthor cut the transmission. Foolish creatures, intensify the bombardment. I want this planet pacified within the week. As the Zarthak attack increased in ferocity, humans around the world rallied to defend their home. In the skies above London, RAF pilot Jake Thompson climbed into the cockpit of his Typhoon fighter jet, knowing full well it was likely a suicide mission. Good luck up there, Jake, his crew chief said, helping him strap in. Give those alien bastards hell. Thompson nodded grimly. I intend to. For Earth. As he took off, joined by squadrons from every nation with an air force still intact, Thompson couldn't help but feel a surge of pride. Despite the overwhelming odds, humanity was not going quietly into the night. In the streets of Tokyo, Civilian militias armed with whatever weapons they could find fought alongside professional soldiers against Zarthak ground troops. The aliens, expecting an easy conquest, found themselves mired in brutal urban warfare. Dr. Amelia Rodriguez, a brilliant physicist at CERN, worked feverishly with a team of international scientists to unravel the secrets of the alien technology. "There has to be a weakness," she muttered, poring over sensor data from the few probes that had managed to get close to the Zarthak ships. "Every system has a flaw. We just need to find it." Back on the Zarthak flagship, Vexthor was beginning to feel the first stirrings of unease. The human resistance was proving troublesome. Their primitive weapons were mostly ineffective, true, but their sheer tenacity was causing delays in the invasion timeline. Supreme Commander Zelnak reported, "We're facing unexpectedly heavy losses in ground combat. These humans, they fight like cornered animals." Vexthor's eyes narrowed. "Impossible. How can these primitives be causing us such trouble? Increase orbital bombardment. Flatten their cities if you have to. I want this planet under our control now." As the Zarthak intensified their attack, the situation for humanity grew increasingly dire. But in secret bunkers and hidden laboratories around the world, the seeds of resistance were taking root. The Zarthak had made a crucial mistake. They had assumed that superior technology equated to certain victory. They were about to learn that humans were far more than the sum of their gadgets. President Chen, coordinating the global response from a mobile command center, received a coded transmission from Dr. Rodriguez at CERN. As she read the message, a spark of hope ignited in her chest. "General Stone," she called out, "get our best hackers and electronic warfare specialists on the line. I think we might have just found our first real advantage." As the first week of the invasion drew to a close, Vexthor prepared to report his inevitable victory to the Zarthak Emperor. But deep in the heart of CERN, Dr. Rodriguez and her team were putting the finishing touches on a weapon that would change the course of the war. The Zarthak were about to learn why the galaxy feared war with the deceptively low-tech humans. The battle for Earth had only just begun. Unexpected resistance. As the Zarthak invasion entered its second week, the aliens' initial confidence began to waver. What they had expected to be a swift conquest was turning into a grueling war of attrition. Humanity, despite its technological inferiority, was proving to be a far more formidable opponent than anticipated. In the ruins of Chicago, Staff Sergeant Maria Ortiz led her squad through the rubble-strewn streets. They moved silently, their weapons at the ready, eyes scanning for any sign of Zarthak patrols. "Sarge," whispered Private Jenkins, the youngest member of the squad, "why aren't we using radios?" Ortiz turned to him, her face streaked with dirt and determination. "Because, kid, these aliens can intercept our transmissions. We're going old school, hand signals and whispers only." As if on cue, a Zarthak hover tank rounded the corner ahead. Ortiz raised her fist, and her squad froze, blending into the shadows of a collapsed building. The alien vehicle was a marvel of technology, its smooth, crystalline surface humming with energy fields that could deflect most conventional weapons. But Ortiz and her team weren't interested in a head-on confrontation. With a series of quick hand gestures, Ortiz deployed her squad. They moved like ghosts through the ruins, surrounding the tank. When they were in position, Ortiz gave the signal. Private Chen, the squad's tech specialist, activated a small device. Suddenly, the Zarthak tank's energy fields flickered and died. Before the alien crew could react, Ortiz and her team struck. They swarmed the vehicle, tossing in specially designed EMP grenades that fried its systems. Within moments, the once invincible war machine was reduced to a useless hunk of metal, its crew captured. "Nice work, people," Ortiz said, allowing herself a small smile. "Let's get this thing back to base. The eggheads are gonna have a field day with it." Meanwhile, in orbit, Supreme Commander Vexthor was facing a crisis of his own. The Zarthak fleet, once an impenetrable wall of technological superiority, was now under constant harassment from an enemy they could barely detect. Report. Vexthor bellowed, his tentacles writhing in agitation. Zelnak, looking decidedly uncomfortable, brought up a holographic display of Earth orbit. Supreme Commander, we're detecting numerous small objects approaching our ships. They're too small to be missiles, and they're not registering on our threat detection systems. Vexthor's eyes narrowed. What are they, then? Before Zelnak could answer, alarms blared across the bridge. Several Zarthak destroyers suddenly went dark, their systems failing catastrophically. By the Emperor, Zelnak gasped. They're satellites. Primitive Earth satellites, but they've been modified somehow. They're emitting some kind of localized EMP field that our shields aren't calibrated to stop. Vexthor roared in frustration. How could these primitive apes be causing so much trouble? Destroy those satellites. All ships, evasive maneuvers. But the damage was done. The once mighty Zarthak fleet was now scattered, many of its ships drifting powerless in orbit. Back on Earth, in the underground bunker that served as humanity's global command center, President Chen received the news with cautious optimism. Dr. Rodriguez, she said, addressing the holographic image of the scientist, your satellite EMP weapon is working better than we could have hoped. But the Zarthak are adapting. We need more. Rodriguez nodded, her eyes blazing with determination. We're working on something even bigger, Madam President, but we need more time. Chen's face hardened. We'll buy you that time, Doctor. Whatever it takes. Across the globe, humanity's resistance was gaining momentum. In the Australian outback, Aboriginal trackers led guerrilla teams in hit-and-run attacks on Zarthak supply lines. In the Amazon rainforest, indigenous tribes used their intimate knowledge of the terrain to ambush alien patrols, their blow darts coated with poisons that could penetrate even Zarthak bioarmor. In the skies, Earth's remaining air forces had adopted new tactics. Instead of futile frontal assaults, they now used swarm techniques, overwhelming Zarthak fighters with sheer numbers and unpredictable flight patterns. Pilot Jake Thompson, now a squadron leader, briefed his pilots before a mission. Remember, people, we're not trying to shoot them down. Our job is to distract and confuse. The real damage comes from our secret weapon. That secret weapon was revealed as Thompson's squadron engaged a group of Zarthak fighters over the Atlantic. As the human pilots weaved and dodged, a swarm of what looked like metallic insects emerged from hidden launchers on their planes. These were microdrones, each no larger than a bee, developed in secret by a coalition of tech companies. As they attached themselves to the Zarthak ships, they began to burrow through the alien hulls, wreaking havoc on internal systems. Vexthor, watching the battle from his flagship, couldn't believe his eyes. What sorcery is this? He demanded. Zelnak, his voice trembling, replied, It's not sorcery, Supreme Commander. It's innovation. The humans are adapting their primitive technology in ways we never anticipated. For the first time since the invasion began, Vexthor felt a twinge of fear. These humans were unlike any species the Zarthak had ever encountered. Their technology might be primitive, but their creativity and adaptability were proving to be formidable weapons. In a secret facility beneath the Rocky Mountains, Dr. Rodriguez and her international team of scientists were putting the finishing touches on their most ambitious project yet. It's ready, Rodriguez announced, her voice filled with a mix of excitement and trepidation. But we only have one shot at this. If it fails, President Chen, watching via secure video link, nodded gravely. We understand the risks, Doctor. But we're out of options. Prepare for deployment. As night fell over a battered but unbroken Earth, humanity prepared to launch its most daring counterattack yet. The Zarthak, still reeling from the unexpected resistance they'd faced, had no idea what was coming. In his flagship, Vexthor gazed down at the planet that had caused him so much trouble. This ends now, he growled. Prepare the planet cracker weapon. If we can't have this world, no one will. But as the Zarthak weapon powered up, a strange signal began to emanate from Earth. It started as a whisper, barely detectable, but quickly grew in strength until it saturated every frequency. Zelnak's eyes widened in shock. Supreme Commander, this signal, it's rewriting our systems. Vexthor watched in horror as his mighty flagship, along with every Zarthak ship in orbit, began to power down. The humans had achieved the impossible. They had created a virus that could interface with and control alien technology. As the Zarthak fleet hung helpless in orbit, President Chen's voice boomed across every channel, in perfect Zarthak language. Attention, Zarthak forces, your invasion has failed. Surrender now, or face the consequences of continuing this war against humanity. The tide had turned. The battle for Earth was entering its final decisive phase, and humanity, against all odds, had seized the initiative. The turning tide. The once mighty Zarthak fleet hung motionless in Earth's orbit, their advanced systems paralyzed by Dr. Rodriguez's virus. On the bridge of his flagship, Supreme Commander Vexthor seethed with rage and disbelief. Zelnak, he roared. How is this possible? How could these primitives defeat our technology? His second-in-command cowered before him. Supreme Commander, it appears the humans have created a virus that can interface with our systems. It's like nothing we've ever encountered before. Vexthor's tentacles writhed in fury. Impossible. Our systems are quantum encrypted. No primitive species could possibly. He was interrupted by the appearance of President Chen's hologram on the bridge. Her expression was stern but composed. Supreme Commander Vexthor, she began, your invasion has failed. Your fleet is disabled. Your ground forces are in disarray. I urge you, for the sake of both our species, to surrender. Vexthor laughed bitterly. Surrender? To primitives? Never. We are the Zarthak Empire. We do not yield. Chen's eyes hardened. Then you leave us no choice. We will defend our world with everything we have. As the hologram flickered out, Vexthor turned to his crew. Begin emergency restoration protocols. I want our systems back online now. But as the Zarthak scrambled to regain control of their ships, humanity was already launching the next phase of their counterattack. In secret bases around the world, soldiers donned experimental-powered armor suits. These exoskeletons, hastily developed by a coalition of tech companies and military researchers, enhanced human strength and speed to superhuman levels. In Moscow, Major Dmitry Volkov led a team of these armored soldiers towards a Zarthak ground base. The alien stronghold loomed before them, its force fields shimmering in the dawn light. Remember, Volkov said to his team, our armor can withstand their energy weapons, but only for a short time. Hit hard, hit fast, and don't stop moving. With a roar of hydraulics and servos, Volkov and his team charged. The Zarthak, caught off guard by the sudden assault, scrambled to respond. Their energy weapons flashed, but the humans moved with impossible speed, dodging and weaving as they closed the distance. Volkov reached the force field first. He activated his suit's plasma cutter, a crude but effective device that slowly began to carve through the alien barrier. The Zarthak defenders, panicked by the sight of humans breaching their defenses, intensified their fire. Keep them busy, Volkov shouted as his team provided covering fire. With a final burst of energy, the force field collapsed, and the humans poured into the base. Similar scenes played out across the globe as humanity took the fight to the invaders. In the streets of Tokyo, civilian militias armed with makeshift EMP weapons worked alongside professional soldiers to root out Zarthak holdouts. In the Amazon rainforest, indigenous warriors led elite special forces teams in daring raids on alien supply depots. High above the Earth, the battle for orbital supremacy continued. Jake Thompson, now commanding a wing of space-capable fighters, led a daring assault on the disabled Zarthak fleet. Remember, people, he said to his pilots, our goal is to board and capture, not destroy. Humanity needs their tech if we're going to take the fight to the stars. The human fighters swarmed around the massive alien ships, their hulls bristling with specially designed boarding pods. As they latched onto the Zarthak vessels, teams of soldiers in space-worthy powered armor cut their way inside. Vexthor watched in horror as human forces breached his flagship. "How?" he whispered, his earlier bravado evaporating. "How are they doing this?" Zelnak, monitoring the invasion's progress, replied with a hint of awe in his voice. "They're adapting, Supreme Commander, using our own technology against us, combined with tactics we never anticipated. It's impressive." Vexthor's reply was cut short as the bridge doors exploded inward. Through the smoke strode a team of humans in powered armor, led by none other than President Chen herself. "Supreme Commander Vexthor," she said, her voice amplified by her suit's speakers, "I'm here to formally accept your surrender." For a moment, Vexthor considered resisting, but as he looked around at his defeated crew, at the humans who had achieved the impossible, he realized the futility of further conflict. "Very well," he said, his voice heavy with defeat. "The Zarthak Empire surrenders." As news of the victory spread across Earth, celebrations erupted in every city, town, and village. Humanity had faced its greatest challenge and emerged triumphant. In the days that followed, the true scale of humanity's achievement began to sink in. Not only had they repelled an invasion by a vastly technologically superior force, but they had also captured a treasure trove of advanced alien technology. Dr. Rodriguez, leading a team of international scientists, began the monumental task of reverse engineering the Zarthak tech. "This will accelerate our scientific progress by centuries," she explained to President Chen during a briefing. "Faster than light travel, clean energy, advanced medicine. It's all within our grasp now." But Chen's expression remained serious. "And weapons?" she asked. "What about their weapons?" Rodriguez nodded gravely. "Yes, those too. We'll be able to defend ourselves against any future threats." Chen sighed, the weight of responsibility heavy on her shoulders. "Let's hope we use this knowledge wisely. We've seen firsthand the dangers of technological arrogance." As humanity began the process of rebuilding and advancing, word of their victory spread across the galaxy. Other species, long oppressed by the Zarthak Empire, looked to Earth with a mixture of awe and hope. In the Galactic Council, representatives from 100 alien races debated the implications of humanity's triumph. "These humans," one delegate mused, "they defeated the Zarthak with nothing but primitive technology and indomitable will. Imagine what they'll be capable of now that they have access to advanced tech." Another delegate nodded in agreement. "We would do well to extend the hand of friendship to Earth. Such allies could be invaluable." And so, as humanity took its first tentative steps into a larger galactic community, they carried with them a reputation that inspired both respect and fear. They were the species that had defeated the undefeatable, the primitive world that had humbled an empire. The galaxy watched and waited, wondering what these remarkable humans would do next. Galactic allies. 5 years had passed since the Zarthak invasion, and Earth had undergone a transformation that would have seemed impossible just a short time ago. The skylines of major cities now featured sleek structures of alien design, while personal vehicles quietly hummed through the air using anti-gravity technology. In Geneva, the newly established Terran Union headquarters bustled with activity. Representatives from every nation on Earth worked together to guide humanity's rapid advancement and manage their newfound place in the galactic community. Ambassador Yuki Tanaka hurried through the halls, her mind racing as she prepared for the most important meeting of her career. As Earth's chief diplomat to the Galactic Council, she was about to welcome the first official delegation from the Confederation of Free Worlds. As she entered the conference room, she was greeted by President Chen and General Stone. Chen's hair had grayed considerably since the invasion, but her eyes still held the same determination that had led humanity to victory. "They're here," Chen said simply. Tanaka nodded. smoothing her suit nervously. "Let's hope this goes well. We need allies out there." The doors slid open, revealing a diverse group of alien beings. At the forefront was Shirix, a tall, willowy creature with iridescent skin and 4 arms. Behind it stood representatives from a dozen other species, each as unique and fascinating as the last. "Welcome to Earth," Tanaka said, bowing slightly. "We're honored to host the Confederation." Shirix's skin rippled with colors, their species' way of expressing emotion. "The honor is ours, Ambassador Tanaka. Your people's victory over the Zarthak has inspired hope across the galaxy." As they settled into their seats, holographic displays flickered to life, showing the current state of galactic politics. Chen leaned forward, her expression serious. "We appreciate your willingness to meet with us," she began. "As you know, we're still new to the galactic stage. We have much to learn, and we hope to find friends among the stars." Shirix nodded, their skin shifting to a deep blue. "That is why we are here. The fall of the Zarthak Empire has left a power vacuum in this sector of the galaxy. Many fear that another expansionist regime may rise to take its place." General Stone's eyes narrowed. "You're worried about us," he stated bluntly. The alien delegates exchanged glances before Shirix responded. "Your advancement has been unprecedented. Some in the Galactic Council fear that humans may become the very thing they defeated." Tanaka felt a chill run down her spine. This was the moment that would define humanity's future in the galactic community. She took a deep breath before speaking. "We understand your concerns," she said carefully. "Humanity has always been a species of extremes, capable of great destruction, but also of great creation and compassion." She gestured to the window, where the rebuilt Geneva skyline glittered in the sunlight. "We've learned harsh lessons about the price of arrogance and the value of cooperation. We don't seek to conquer, but to connect." Chen nodded in agreement. "We propose an alliance. Earth can offer new perspectives, innovative solutions to old problems. In return, we seek guidance in navigating this new frontier." The alien delegates conferred among themselves, their various forms of communication creating a symphony of clicks, whistles, and color changes. Finally, Shirix turned back to the humans. "Your proposal is intriguing, but words are easy. We would need proof of your commitment to peace and cooperation." General Stone leaned forward, his weathered face serious. "What did you have in mind?" Shirix's skin shifted to a deep purple. "There is a situation that requires immediate attention. A group of Zarthak loyalists has seized control of a former colony world, Nexus Prime. They're using the planet's advanced weapon facilities to rebuild their forces. The Confederation lacks the military strength to intervene directly." Tanaka's eyes widened as she realized the implications. "You want us to deal with them?" "Yes," Shirix confirmed. "Consider it a test. Show us that you can use your newfound power responsibly, for the good of the galaxy, not just your own interests." The human leaders exchanged glances. This was more than just a military operation. It was a chance to define humanity's place in the cosmos. Chen stood, her decision made. "We accept your challenge. Earth will deal with the Zarthak remnant on Nexus Prime." As the meeting concluded, and the alien delegation departed, Tanaka, Chen, and Stone remained in the conference room, the weight of their decision hanging heavily in the air. "Well," Stone said with a grim smile, "looks like we're taking the fight to the stars. I'll begin assembling our forces." Chen nodded. "Choose your best, General. The eyes of the galaxy will be upon us." As they left to prepare for humanity's first extraterrestrial military operation, none of them could shake the feeling that this was just the beginning of a new era, one filled with both incredible opportunities and daunting challenges. In orbit above Earth, construction had already begun on humanity's first true interstellar warship, the UES Horizon, a sleek vessel that combined reverse-engineered Zarthak technology with human ingenuity, would soon carry Earth's finest into the unknown. Captain Elena Rodriguez, daughter of the famous Dr. Rodriguez, stood in the Horizon's command center, overseeing the final preparations. As she gazed out at the stars, she couldn't help but feel a mix of excitement and trepidation. "We're really doing this," she murmured to herself. "We're taking our first steps into a larger universe." Little did she know, those steps would lead humanity into a conflict that would reshape the galaxy forever. The battle for Nexus Prime loomed on the horizon, and with it, the true test of humanity's place among the stars. The fall of an empire. The UEA's horizon emerged from hyperspace at the edge of the Nexus Prime system, its sleek form a testament to humanity's rapid technological advancement. On the bridge, Captain Elena Rodriguez surveyed the tactical display with a mix of anticipation and concern. "Status report," she ordered, her voice steady despite the tension in the air. Her XO, Commander John Chen, responded promptly. "All systems nominal, Captain. No sign that we've been detected yet. The Zarthak loyalists seem to be focused on the planet." Elena nodded, her eyes fixed on the holographic representation of Nexus Prime. The once thriving colony world now bristled with weapon emplacements and orbital defense platforms. It was clear the Zarthak remnant had been busy. "Begin passage scans," she ordered. "I want to know everything about their defenses before we make our move." As the Horizon's advanced sensors probed the Zarthak stronghold, Elena couldn't help but reflect on the gravity of their mission. This wasn't just about neutralizing a threat. It was humanity's chance to prove themselves as responsible members of the galactic community. Back on Earth, President Chen and the Terran Union leadership watched the operation unfold through a secure quantum link. Beside them, Zurichs and other representatives of the Confederation of Free Worlds observed in tense silence. "Your ship has not been detected," Zurichs noted, their skin rippling with curiosity. "How is this possible? The Zarthak have the most advanced sensors in the known galaxy." General Stone allowed himself a small smile. "Let's just say we've made some improvements to their cloaking technology. Sometimes, the student surpasses the master." On the horizon, the results of the scans were coming in. Commander Chen's expression grew grave as he reported to Elena. "Captain, it's worse than we thought. They're not just rebuilding their forces. They're constructing the superweapon. If they complete it, they could threaten every world in this sector." Elena's jaw tightened. "Then we have no choice. We need to end this now." She opened a channel to the rest of the fleet, a mix of human ships and a small contingent of Confederation allies. "All vessels, this is Captain Rodriguez. Prepare for combat operations. Our mission is to neutralize the Zarthak threat and secure Nexus Prime. Remember, we're not just fighting for Earth anymore. We're fighting for the entire galaxy." With that, the human fleet decloaked, catching the Zarthak completely by surprise. The Horizon led the charge, its advanced weapons tearing through the orbital defenses with surgical precision. The battle was fierce. The Zarthak, though outnumbered, fought with the desperation of those who had lost everything once before. Their ships swarmed the human fleet, energy beams lancing through space. But humanity had learned from their previous encounter with the Zarthak. Their ships danced through the enemy formation, using tactics that combined Earth's long history of warfare with their newly acquired technology. On the planet's surface, a team of human special forces, led by the grizzled veteran Major Dmitry Volkov, infiltrated the main Zarthak compound. Their mission: to sabotage the superweapon before it could be completed. "Remember," Volkov growled to his team as they crept through the alien corridors, "we're not just soldiers anymore. We're representatives of Earth. Let's show the galaxy what humans can do." As the space battle raged above, and the ground team closed in on their target, the Zarthak leader, Supreme Warlord Kaztur, watched with growing despair. He had thought the humans would be easy to defeat once they ventured beyond their homeworld. He had been gravely mistaken. In a desperate move, Kaztur ordered the activation of the superweapon, even though it wasn't fully complete. "If we're to fall," he snarled to his subordinates, "we'll take these humans with us." The massive weapon began to power up, its energy readings spiking to dangerous levels. On the horizon, Alina realized the danger immediately. "All ships, focus fire on that weapon," she commanded. "We can't let it fire." But even as the fleet redirected its efforts, it became clear they wouldn't be able to stop it in time. The fate of not just Nexus Prime, but potentially the entire sector, hung in the balance. It was at that moment that Major Volkov and his team reached the weapons control center. In a fierce firefight, they fought their way to the main console. Volkov, drawing on the technical knowledge provided by Dr. Rodriguez back on Earth, began to input a complex series of commands. "What are you doing?" one of his team members asked, providing covering fire. Volkov grinned grimly, giving these Zarthak a taste of their own medicine. "If I can't shut it down, I'm going to overload it." Above, the horizon's sensors detected the change. "Captain," Commander Chen reported, "the weapon's energy signature is becoming unstable. It's going to explode." Alina's mind raced. If that weapon detonated, it would take out not just the Zarthak, but also Volkov's team, and potentially damage the surrounding space. In that moment, she made a decision that would be remembered in history books for centuries to come. "All ships, pull back to minimum safe distance," she ordered. Then, to her helm officer, "Take us in. We're going to use the horizon to contain the blast." Despite the protests of her crew, Alina guided the horizon into position directly above the superweapon. As the energy readings reached critical levels, she activated the ship's experimental shield technology, a combination of Zarthak deflectors and human ingenuity. The weapon exploded in a blinding flash of light. For a terrifying moment, it seemed as if the horizon would be vaporized. But when the light faded, the ship remained, its shields glowing white-hot but holding. In the aftermath, as the dust settled on Nexus Prime and the remaining Zarthak forces surrendered, the true magnitude of what humanity had accomplished began to sink in. They had not only defeated a dangerous enemy, but had done so while minimizing collateral damage and demonstrating a level of sacrifice that impressed even their harshest critics. Back on Earth, as news of the victory spread, President Chen addressed the Confederation representatives. "We hope our actions have demonstrated our commitment to using our strength responsibly," she said. "Earth stands ready to join the galactic community as full partners in peace." Zhurix, their skin shimmering with a mix of colors that suggested awe and respect, responded, "You have more than proven yourselves, humans. The Confederation welcomes Earth as full members. Together, we can build a better future for all species." As the formal alliance was signed, ushering in a new era of galactic cooperation, Captain Alina Rodriguez stood on the observation deck of the battle-scarred horizon. Looking out at the stars, she couldn't help but feel a sense of pride and wonder. Humanity had faced its greatest challenge and emerged not just victorious, but transformed. They had proven that their strength lay not just in their ability to adapt and innovate, but in their capacity for courage, sacrifice, and cooperation. As the horizon began its journey back to Earth, Alina knew that this was just the beginning. The galaxy was vast, filled with wonders and dangers beyond imagination. But whatever challenges lay ahead, she was confident that humanity would face them as they always had, with determination, creativity, and an unwavering spirit. The age of Earth's isolation was over. The era of human exploration and galactic partnership had begun.